Welcome to Good Horses, stories of the American quarter horse. Behind every great rider, breeder, or trainer, there's always a good horse. The ones that challenged us, taught us, and left a lasting mark. In each episode, we'll share the stories of those horses, the ones that shaped lives, built legacies, and defined the heart, soul, and horsepower of the American quarter horse. This podcast is brought to you by the American Quarter Horse Association.
Welcome to Good Horses, Stories of the American Quarter Horse. I'm Becky Newell, and I'm here with Michelle Bonds, our producer, who's on the other side of the camera. And today our guest is Casey Deary. I did a little research on you.
Okay.
Understand that you're the middle child, and you were the only, of course, the favorite. That explains everything, right? And you were the only horse crazy kid in your family.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It was, I had the bug when I was a kid, and I can remember sneaking off to the neighbor's pasture and feeding all the mom's carrots to the horses. And when we'd go on vacations, camping trips, my folks had a camper that they drug us all over the country. And if we drove past a little riding sign, the trail riding deal, my dad would pull over and let me go get my fix for, the hour on the trail riding deal. And then at 15, one of my really good friends from school, they got me involved in the 4-H program, and it just kind of took off from there.
Fantastic. So tell us about your first horse.
Oh man, we got to go way back. So there was, there were a few, not necessarily mine, but that some of the people from 4-H would loan me, so you can imagine how nice the loaner horse was.
But it was still a horse, right?
It was still, and that's all I cared about.
That's right.
It was an opportunity. My first horse that was actually mine was one that was an appendix registered. It's a quarter stud out of a thoroughbred mare, and she had ears longer than the arm on this stand right here. And I did the 4-H stuff with her and rode her, and so she kind of started the process of buying and selling horses. And through high school, I never had a job I clocked in at.
Wow.
So I would buy and sell horses out of the newspaper. You'd make a couple $100 on them and
trade up,
roll on to the next one.
Sure.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
That's all. I guess I can say that now. I've never had a job that I clock in at, which Walmart greeter's not out of the question, but I'm not there yet.
For sure. So I was reading about some of your first horses. Obviously, there was Turbo. He's a turbo chick.
Yeah.
And you won the fraternity with him?
I won the limited open
Okay.
ancillary class.
Okay. Cool.
The buckle does say limited open fraternity champion class, but it's spelled different or put in a different spot.
And where did you go from him, or were there others before him as far as horses you showed?
That was probably the first class with any merit that I remember winning. It was they had, at the time, there was not the, I'm drawing a blank. What do you call the qualifying classes that we all go to, that we haul around the country for? The affiliate program.
Yes.
Thank you. So they made a big deal of it. Like, that horse won a saddle and a buckle and ribbons, and that's where I met Rod Patrick. He had donated a pair of boots, and Nicole and I felt like we'd won the fraternity. I mean, I remember we were actually stalled next to Russell Dilday in the very back, which I think they put Russell there intentionally, and they didn't know who I was. So we were at the very, very back of that building that now houses all the sale horses. And Russell and I had a blast back there. We were kind of like the kids nobody wanted at the party. And he and I got along great. That's where I met him there, and we had a great time back there. But it felt like winning the whole event.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one that I can remember anyway.
Sure, sure. And where did it go from there? What horse came up next for you that
Oh, the next one that I can remember would have been Little Bay Starlight.
Mhm.
And that horse was what I call my first real show horse.
Mhm.
And when I say a real show horse, I mean the horse that actually liked being there, got better when he was in the pen.
Mhm.
That horse was an orphan.
Yeah.
And I actually found him, and the customer that bought him as a 5-year-old actually owned this place that we own now.
Wow.
So I found that colt and loved him, and Robbie agreed to buy him for me. He's 5 years old. They took a chip out of his hock as a 2-year-old. And so
And he's the one that had that
the big boggy
ball.
hock.
Yeah.
And so he's 5 years old. He had, 30 or 60 days of riding on him, and nobody wanted him.
Mhm.
And I loved the way he was made. I liked the way he traveled, and I liked the family. He was by Gray Starlight out of a daughter at Ocalina.
Good bloodlines.
I remember the first place I took him was a quarter horse show in Stephenville,
Mhm.
and he had about 10 months of riding. So
Not much.
no business being there, but he was such a nice horse. I had him at home riding like, man, he feels good and it's close to home. And I remember taking him there in that small warm-up arena, and there was 90 or 100 horses entered in the class. So it was literally like bumper cars in the warm-up, and that horse was terrible.
Oh, no.
I don't mean, it was so bad that I said to Nicole, I don't need to be here. Let's go.
Wow.
And she said, you're already here. Just see how it goes. And so I literally two-handed couldn't ride him around the warm-up pen.
Oh
He
my
was so
gosh.
petrified of other horses. He'd grown up in a stall and an orphan, bottle fed by himself. He was horrible around other horses. And when I loped him through the gates, that horse went, oh, thank you. And he ends up winning the
An
reining.
empty pen.
Yeah, he was all by himself. He won the reining there. So he qualified for the World Show with a one run.
At one show.
The first time he went.
Oh my gosh.
And absolutely loved it. And he did that everywhere. And it, like, if you watched me getting him ready, you'd go, that guy needs to go, like, he didn't even ride around like a good feedlot horse
Wow.
in the warm-up pen.
Wow.
And then he'd go through those gates and he'd fire. I could tell you, even at home here when there was traffic in the arena, I was 50-50 on getting a lead change. I mean, it was like, the scene where John Wayne's got the bridle reins in his teeth. That's what it felt like while I was riding him around. And I never one time had a lead penalty on that horse in the pen.
Oh my gosh.
So he was a really special one early
Quirky.
on.
Quirky, but special.
Just he was more human than he was horse. He had absolutely no horse skills. In fact, at the time I had a walker that had the chains on it that you snap them in. And if you put him out there with another horse, he would get to the very end of the chain, stretch out as far as you could go, and make this roaring sound like a T-Rex. It wasn't like a horse whinnying or screaming. It sounded like, and I'd be in the arena and I'd hear this, "Wah!" And I'm thinking, what is that? And it was Romeo out there screaming. And, but just as sweet to be around, and like when he was hungry, when it was feeding time, he'd suck his tongue.
Oh my gosh.
Like is it like a bottle full of wood?
Yeah.
I remember, I think I won something close to $20,000 on him or something like that. Went to the World Show. Maybe you got it in your notes. I don't know. You can tell us, but
That's amazing.
we sold that horse to Jimmy Paul,
Mm-hmm.
one of Jimmy's customers, I guess. Never met the guy. He called me up and asked me what I had for sale, and I told him about that horse, and I said, it's got a huge hock. Sent him pictures, videos. Vet checked him, never came to look at him.
Wow.
Bought him over the phone, and I remember Nicole and I drove him to Scottsdale
Oh my gosh.
together. I loved the horse, so I remember we dropped him off at Jimmy's place, and I'm pulling out of the driveway, and I'm bawling like a baby.
No.
I'm like, I am not okay. And before I got off of that dirt road, I called the guy and I said, are you real sure you want me to leave this horse here? And he said, yes, Casey. He's sold. So that was one of the rare moments where I got emotional over one of them. But that horse was fantastic, and I think that year we bred 8 mares, and Nicole and I and one of the guys that was working for us live covered everything in the round pen.
Wow!
And he bred 8 mares, and that full crop he had Starlight Sugar Whiz that I made multiple finals
she's on my list.
She won 75 or 80,000. She's the mother to Magnum Starlight and some other. She's produced, I don't know, 400,000, something around that. That's Texas math. The other one out of that crop was, oh shoot, I can't remember about that mare's name, but Corey won the Super Horse on.
Oh, Rising Starlight, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Rising Starlight.
I just pulled some of those horses yesterday, so the names of them. So
that's that mare. So I mean, of 8 foals, you have 2 of them that were legitimate big timers.
Yes.
And the other horses were nice, but they went to be, like rookie horses for me or whatever. So that was one of those horses. I think if a more talented person, if a Avila or Florida or one of those guys would have had that horse early on, I think he could have had a chance as a breeding horse.
Oh yeah.
Instead he got stuck with me.
It's all good. It's all good. So, did you didn't get him back though, did you? I was reading about, there was a horse I thought you had gotten back.
I never got him back. Jimmy went on to win a ton of roping points and some cutting points, and it was just an all around great animal.
That's cool. Very cool.
Wanted him back, never happened.
So let's see. I've got on my list, I've got Jack's Little Sunrise. I had read about the bay horse, and there were Little Bay Starlight, and had read that he had some health issues, and you'd kind of vetted him and got him back on his feet, and then read something similar about Jack's Little Sunrise as well. It just felt like that those were horses you were able to you could see that there were things wrong, and that you could have a vet look at him, a farrier look at him, and then things went a lot better for him.
Yeah, I have a great team of guys. It's the same guys that work with me now from 20. What year is this?
2025.
So what's that? 24 years ago. It's the same group of guys.
Oh my gosh.
I can't tell you that any one part of us is the best there is.
Right.
But together, it's a really good fit. So we work well together.
Yeah.
They get me. I can say things, this horse is this or this horse is that. They understand what I mean.
Yep.
So again, I can't tell you that any one part is the greatest one there ever is, but all together, it's been a great combination. So
absolutely.
Jack's Little Sunrise was my first open finalist. At the time, 99% of my business, well, that's not true. 100% of my business was lessons. And so the people that I had as customers the majority were haul-in lessons, whereas, weekend kids, youth kids, 4-H kids, there was really nothing for me. I can remember at the Cowtown Classic one year, we had 30-something horses there, and I had one for me to ride.
Oh, wow. I
can remember going to Glen Rose, Texas, and I didn't even put my boots on. I was in my old man shoes in a chair round the clock coaching. So Deb and Harry McCandless were customers that rode with me, but Deb enjoyed the trading part.
Right.
So they would let me buy something, work on it, and resell it.
Right.
And so when I found Jack's Little Sunrise, Casey Hinton had trained him. He had some sort of I can't remember exactly what happened, fell as a 3-year-old or something like that, and had a spot in his neck where he just didn't have the same range of motion both sides. And so could turn huge, stop huge. Obviously, Casey had him well trained and broke, but he just had a physical spot that he couldn't get through. And at the time, I had a very good chiropractor that I worked with, and I thought, you know what? I think we can help that.
Right.
And so I could buy some of those horses and just invest a little bit of TLC into them, and not that they were mistreated
No.
neglected before, but I just had a different approach to it. So we got that horse home and we adjusted him, and it took a couple of times to get him all the way back loose.
Right.
And then, he went on to, he won the go round or second in the go round, maybe at the NRBC or something like that.
That's cool.
And from there, I think we made the finals at the Derby maybe, and then sold that one to, I should have had a notepad. Doug. Oh, I guess it was Scott. Scott bought him first, and then they resold him. That's right.
Okay. See, this is why we kept Nicole in here.
Oh, you should have her here.
She's better than a notepad.
I should be out there lifting heavy things, and you should be interviewing her. It would be more entertaining.
So where did you go from Jack's Little Sunrise?
It seems like that year I had Cisco's Roan Ranger also.
Yep.
Which was a really funny story. I had an Australian guy named Jason Wordsworth that was working for me, and he and his sister had bought that colt as a prospect, and just something to try to make money on. So Jason brought him over, and he was started as a cutter and not cowy enough or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't work. And Jason started doing the reining stuff on him. And seems like late summer, he said, "Mate, I think you should be riding this one." So I took over on him, and it was different. He was very green, but he was a really big stopper and a really pretty horse to watch. Completely not reining bred.
Yeah.
He was by a horse named Cisco Lena out of a daughter of Pepto Boone's mall that was out of a full sister to Cisco Lena.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of one of those family trees that doesn't fork much. But he was a huge stopper. And so
it was line breeding, not inbreeding.
Yeah, we'll call it line breeding. Yeah, there you go. Because it did work. I guess technically that's the difference.
That's the way it goes.
So I remember the first go round of the futurity, I marked a 15.5. And we were at breakfast, and I saw Clint, and I remember going, "Do you think there's a shot at that horse making the 4 finals?" And he said, "Oh, you'd have to be real good the second go. You couldn't have the same run and make it back," but he said, "You'd have to be real good." And so we're back in the second go round, and the horse was fantastic. I think I marked a 20.5 or something like that. So he makes the open finals. And I remember Jason is a big, strong, tough Aussie. And I come out and he is weeping. I mean, he's got tears coming down his face. And I said, "Are you crying?" And he said, "You threw dirt in me eye."
Sure.
Yeah. So anyhow, I think that year that horse ended up 6th or 7th or 8th or something like that in the finals. And that was my first trip to the fraternity finals. And then kind of the same deal. He did well. Somebody came along, wanted to buy him. And he moved on down, and we moved to the next one.
Right. Well, the next one on my list, Lexi, a mare that became pretty special for y'all.
We skipped a couple pretty important ones there.
Well, then let's not skip those. Let's go back.
I mean, if we're going to just kind of fast forward to the big ones, the next one you would probably talk about would be the gun model.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Lily.
Yeah.
She went through the 2-year-old fraternity sale. And I had a customer and friend that always wanted to buy a really great one for me. And they had a commercial lawn care business, and I coached their daughter. And we treated each other like brothers. I mean, we just verbally abused each other every chance we got, right?
Great friend.
Turn our back, and I'm telling him I love you.
Yes.
Right? But we just teased each other relentlessly. And so coaching his daughter, they're going to the horse shows, having a great time, and he's always saying, "I'd love to buy a great one for you."
Mhm.
Well, he passed away.
Oh, no.
His wife,
Mhm.
in his honor, said,
Let's go find one.
"Go find the best one you can find."
Absolutely.
So I looked and tried and looked and tried, and we find that sorrel filly in the sale, and my wife believed in her more than anybody. Uh-oh.
What's that?
This is the coffee machine going on a union break.
Okay, it's done
Sorry.
now.
It won't do that anymore. So we do all of the vet check,
Mhm.
all of the everything I'm supposed to do to make sure. Brad Giesbrick had her in the sale. He let me ride her. I could not make her put a foot in the ground stopping her.
Oh, wow.
I watched Brad do it,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful,
Yeah.
but I couldn't do it.
Oh.
So I'm going, man, it's a lot. I mean, she's supposed to bring a lot. She's beautiful.
Mhm.
Anyway, she goes through the ring, and we're bidding and we're bidding and we're bidding, and I'm kind of backing off, and Nicole grabbed. No, I guess you may have to help Nicole. She sells to somebody in the ring,
Oh.
and Nicole grabs me by the back of the arm and said, "Do not let that mare get away." I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, like, whoever's inside there is going to go for however long.
Mhm.
So ended up no selling. And I went to David Silva and I said, I'd like to buy that mare.
Mhm.
And so we bought her after the sale, after he'd no sailed her,
Mhm.
and brought her home. And it didn't take long to figure the brakes out, but
Right.
she couldn't hear. She is very feely.
Mhm.
Didn't really have a huge motor, but she was very, very feely. So
Mhm.
everything with her was soft, and
Yep.
it fit me really, really well.
Yeah.
Because I need a horse that doesn't make me take it.
Yeah.
I need one that'll let me teach them through it,
Mhm.
willingly give it to me, and be a teammate. I'm not
Mhm.
great on one that, I'm not going to do well on one that wants to be in a street fight.
Right.
So she fit me really, really well. And I can remember the first time I showed her was in Fort Worth
Mhm.
at the Cowtown Classic. And Nicole and I actually bought half of her. So
Mhm.
we partnered with them on
Very
the mare.
nice.
And I show her, and I drug a lead for a point.
Oh, no.
And I remember getting done, and I'm going, please, Lord, let it just at least be a 70.
Mhm.
I mean, it felt horrible.
Oh, no.
And they call out a 222.5. And I'm thinking, somebody has pushed the wrong button on the calculator.
Oh, my
I'm thinking
gosh.
they're gonna
correct
this.
that.
There's no
Mhm.
way, right? So I'm walking out, waiting them to say, "I'm sorry, corrected score." Never happened.
Never happened.
We get outside, and they have this was kind of like when the replays first started coming out. They had the TV set up, and I got to watch it, and I went,
It didn't
"Holy
look as
cow.
bad as it felt.
That's what that looks like." And it was, I mean, it was unbelievable. At the time, we just didn't see a lot of them. And for sure, I didn't.
Mhm.
And you'd seen them with Bill Horn on them doing that.
Mhm.
And she just had such an incredible way of doing it. And me being the dummy that I am, I get home after she's done that, and I thought, you're that special. You need to get broke.
Mhm.
Like, we can't go to town and you be a feral animal. You have to get broke. You're going to do it this
Get some
way.
manners.
Yeah. And it was, so she had the big, pretty bald face and the blue eyes, and she couldn't hear. And so light always bothered her.
Oh, my
So here in my arena where I have these wood slats,
Mhm.
every day she's spooking here in the arena.
Oh, my gosh.
I go to town and the lights are good and there's no shadow. She was fantastic.
Mhm.
But I can remember right here in this arena on my right circle, I thought, you're gonna get broke and circle like a reining horse.
Mhm.
And I worked on it, and I held her, and I pushed, and I'm doing all the stuff that I've seen on all the training DVDs. And she said, I'll have none of it.
Oh, no.
And it took me 2 weeks to even get some sort of semblance of a circle that side, that direction.
Wow.
And I thought, you dummy.
Oh,
That mare just showed you she doesn't need you up there, and you go cram it down her.
Try to reteach
Like,
her.
you're gonna, I draw the line in the sand, and she
Mhm.
said, not gonna happen. So now I'm like, now what do I do? So,
Typical woman.
well, typical man, right? Like, I'm gonna make you do
That
it.
too.
And so at that point, I thought, you know what? I don't care. I know it's not like everybody else's horse. Yeah, I know it's not in the bridle and shapy and collected and round and all the other terms that we throw around. She didn't need to be that way. So she taught me more than I ever taught her. And I just got her hooked in my hand where I could put her where I needed to be. And I thought, I'm happy with a 0 circle. If I can be a half, that's great, because she can turn a 1, 1.5, and she can stop a 1 and 1.5. So all I have to do is survive that other part. And after that, I apologized. She forgave me. We went to Vegas, and she was a 227.5. I think she won Vegas by 5 points or something.
Oh
like,
my
I mean, like,
gosh.
walked
Yeah.
away with it.
Yeah.
And walking out that gate, my phone was like a slot machine. Ding, 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 ding.
People wanted to buy her.
Everybody. I mean, anybody and everybody that was in the reining called for a price on her or texted for a price on her. And Nicole and I were broke.
Yeah.
Like, all the credit cards are maxed out. We got kids to feed. It's, we own this place, and it was tough.
Yeah.
And so, she's the one doing all the books. She knows how broke we are more than I do. I mean, I don't. So she's going, we need to sell that mare. And I said to her, I'm never going to get where I want to be if every time I have
a good one,
I sell it. And, she's the smart one of the two of us. So she's still trying to talk me into it. And I said, if you don't believe in me, then let's sell her. Which, I didn't mean it like a ultimatum, but it kind of came out that way a little bit. She said, okay, let's keep her. So we priced her for, at the time, was a silly number with the stipulation that she stays with me. And nobody was going to do that. So she ties to win the go-round at the reining fraternity. I tied with Sean Flair to honor. And he had Yankee gun, maybe. Anyway, doesn't matter. Mr. Archesi buys her the night before the finals. And my wife is smart enough. She negotiated the prizes, the prize money. She was confident the mare was going to win it. You're going to have to tell that part. You can have my chair, and you can tell them. It is the best part. That's why I want you to tell them. You want my chair for a minute? The part she's wanting me to tell you, I can't even get through the first part of it.
Oh. Because your late friend's wife owned half of that mare, right?
No. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
That late friend.
Yes.
But a separate part, we had 2 now late friends involved in it.
Oh my goodness. Besides emotion.
Yeah. So that summer, we had a guy named Ed Harrison. I'm never going to get through this, Nicole. You're going to have to do it. Came to work for us. I got to tell the short version of it. Long and short of it, Nicole and I have always been believers. We were never bold enough.
Yeah.
So Ed was instrumental in calling me out. Nicole, one morning, was doing her Bible study, and she has a vision of that mare winning the fraternity.
No way.
And putting the roses around her neck.
Oh my goodness.
She doesn't say a word about it.
Right.
To me or
Right.
anybody else. She talks to Ed about it.
Mhm.
And Ed said, I've had the same vision.
No way.
So the week before we leave for the fraternity, her mom comes over to the house, and I've been to the reining fraternity for 10 years. I made the finals one time.
Mhm.
Like, it kind of feels to me like I know I got a great horse, but I've been whipped on so many times that I'm going that I don't just get real excited about it.
Right.
So her mom says, are you ready? How you doing? And I said, well, got them as ready as I can get.
Mhm.
I'm going to do the best I can. And Nicole pipes up with, you're going to win it. And I'm thinking, oh boy, she's been drinking already. And, I just don't put any merit into it. Right.
Right.
So then she tells me the story, and I'm like, oh boy, I got both of them coming at me, and I still don't put any thought into it.
Mhm.
The mare wins the first go round at the fraternity, and the second go, all I have to do is be clean, and she's in.
Yep.
And she's second in the second go, and I'm just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she said, you believe me now, don't you? So at that point, I had a ton of confidence.
Mhm.
And then there were guys like, I remember warming up with Sean Flarida, and he was on his getting ready for the finals. And I said, Sean, it sure be nice of you just to scratch. And he looked at me, straight face, no smirk, no nothing. He said, you don't need me to scratch.
Wow.
And I thought, geez, Pete, that
That's
guy believes in her.
huge. Yeah.
So anyway, that mare, Ed, that situation, Ed said, oh, boy, this is so much easier when Nicole does it. Ed said that something along the lines of, that mare's building a platform that you have to take advantage of.
Wow.
And obviously, it could go away at any minute.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been something that Nicole and I both, she better than me,
Mm-hmm.
have tried to make sure that we use that platform
Mm-hmm.
to, share the love of Christ.
Absolutely.
And that we feel like that's what our job is.
Mm-hmm.
The horses are one thing, but the people are what we're really here for.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was the shortened, dry-eyed version of the gun model. And that mare went on to be third at the NRBC and third at the Derby as a 4-year-old. As a 5-year-old, I had taken some runs out of her. I think she was 10th at the Derby and 10th at the NRBC, and then they retired her, and I think she won, I don't know, right at 300,000.
Wow.
And then she's at $1.5 million in produce or so now. So I've been fortunate enough to ride a lot of her offspring, and that's been really fun.
Mm-hmm. So let's see, her offspring, I've got some in here somewhere. America's Next Top Gun, would that be an offspring?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one out of that
Supermodel, too.
mare was America's Supermodel.
Yep.
She was third at the fraternity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it seems like she won like 250 or 260.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with me zeroing at the NRBC. I took that one away from her.
Wow.
And then Maverick, I'm sorry?
She won the World Show.
She won
Yep,
the
I
AQHA
remember
World
that.
Show. Maverick would have been the second one, and he won 420, 430, 440, something like that. And that was one of the most talented horses I'd ever sat on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could do things that would scare you. And we're getting to ride a lot of his 3-year-olds right now, which has been a blast. I mean, that's when you know you're old, when you're riding 3rd and 4th generation stuff, right? So.
But what a great legacy she has built.
Yeah.
For you, or you've helped build.
Well,
it's been
the fact that I was fortunate enough to have her and young enough and inexperienced enough to not feel like I knew everything and you're going to do it my way or not at all.
Mhm.
And I feel like, who knows, if I had her to do over again, I don't know that I'd do as good a job. I don't have any idea. I just knew at that point I couldn't do what everybody else was doing. I had to make sure I let her train and show the way she needed it.
Mhm.
And I think that the fact that I didn't have enough experience gave me enough self-doubt to go, hey, maybe let's just try it your way.
Yeah. And Nicole picked her out, and Nicole said, she had the faith.
It's been she's kind of steered the ship on it for sure. She's the one that renamed her, and I mean, it's definitely been a Nicole project. She got the watch from Archesi. The Archesis are fantastic to work for.
Yeah.
And everybody that's won the fraternity, they've given a Rolex.
Nice.
So when that mare wins the fraternity, Nicole got a Rolex.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is fine because it doesn't have a digital screen.
Oh my gosh. So what was that moment like when Lily won? After you were so worried, and Nicole's vision and Sean saying, "Hey, you got this." What was that moment really like?
It's funny because most of the time when I'm showing, I'm very focused and clear.
Mhm.
I generally don't get nervous.
Mhm.
And what I normally do when I'm showing, I'll kind of mark myself as I'm going. So I have an idea when I get done, but thinking back on that, and even I remember having these thoughts before, but I don't remember the run in, stop, and back. I don't remember either set of turns. It was like, if you'd hit your head and you had a little amnesia, but the first thought I remember having where I'm checked back in is I'd already loped off and run one of my fast circles when I remember hooking back in there going. So the mare was basically on autopilot.
Yeah, she's like, I got this. Don't worry about me.
Hey, dummy, leave me alone here and I'll take
hold
care
on.
of it. Yeah. So, and I think what checked me back in, like I said, she couldn't hear and she was sensitive and the crowd was deafening.
Wow.
And so when I loped her off, she could feel that energy. And I couldn't get her to run at it, right? So if you watch the video now, which is never a good idea because it's always better in your memory, she doesn't run the first 3/4 of the circle until I got to this side and the noise is behind her, and then she shot out of there like a rocket. So my second circle was real fast, and we survived the slowdown, and then we did the slow lead change to the left, and then she hooked back up, and we were smooth sailing after that. But the right set of circles was a full-blown train wreck.
Wow.
And in fact, there's a picture right here in the office where they call that score out. And what you can't see, you can kind of see Lily's head and neck straight up in the air.
Yes.
What you can't see are the 4 feet off the ground. When they announced the score,
because that energy,
they went nuts.
Really?
And she felt that, and it spooked her so bad, she almost jumped on top of me. So like the next picture from that, the next frame
you're like,
is her like nearly on top of me.
Wow.
But it was, there obviously, that's what every horse trainer dreams of. That's what everybody that starts young in the reining wants to win that title. And at the time, there was nothing even close to it.
Right.
Now we have so many amazing events to go to. But at the time, that was the pinnacle.
Yep.
And it affirmed what Nicole and Ed said. So, there's no doubt in my mind what I'm supposed to do. I'm not always faithful in doing it. But there's no doubt what my call is. So we sold the mare. We had the prize money. She negotiated some embryo deals. And really all it did when it was all done is it basically got us back to neutral. I mean, that's how much trouble we were in at that point in our career.
Oh my gosh.
So it basically got us back to neutral, but it started a relationship with the Archesi family that has been, as good as it
phenomenal.
gets. They're fantastic people. They trust us completely. They give us free rein to do whatever we need to do. They understand when it doesn't go right.
Mm-hmm.
They're great winners. So it's just been I don't think it would have, even if we could have afforded to keep the mare ourselves, I don't think it would have been as beneficial as having them on our team.
Yeah. The future moving forward.
The whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just was it's been such a blessing every year since.
Mm-hmm.
They've been great to work for. So.
And just thinking about Nicole having that vision while she's doing her Bible study, which maybe let her think ahead of how do we set this up for success,
I would imagine. I mean, she told me, and when she tells the story, she says she wrote down in that devotional that day, Casey will win the fraternity.
Wow.
And closed it up. And I mean, that was, what day was that?
9:30 in the morning.
That's amazing.
So.
Yeah. Pivotal.
So from October 10th, when she, learns this, knows this, believes this, to, I mean, the fraternity finals are December, 3rd or 4th, 5th, whatever it is where it falls. She kept it a secret for a while.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So who was the next star for you?
Let's see here. After that was 12. So 13, I did not make the fraternity finals. 14 would have been Gonna Spark Ya. And he was second or third. That was the first crop of Gonna Trashes.
Right.
Was 14. That was, so 13, I didn't make the finals. 14 was Dale. 15, She's Out of Your League won it.
Yep.
She's Out of Your League is by Walla Walla Wiz out of Wimpy's Little Chick.
Yep.
And I have a very good customer and great friend, Rob Curtis, that had for a couple of years, 2 years, whatever it was, brought his son out for riding lessons very sporadically, unplanned, unorganized, had free time, call Casey. Yeah, come on. My wife is great about asking what people's goals and plans are. I don't ask anybody. My philosophy is when you come out here, you are trying to get away from your goals and plans in life. So I want this to be a fun place for you to come, get away, enjoy your horse.
As it should be.
So I never ask. And Rob had a Suburban that would not pass inspection.
Oh my gosh.
And he showed up in shorts and a regular, just a t-shirt or a button down, just very casual. And I can remember feeling bad for taking the riding lesson money because I'm thinking, I see your car.
Yeah.
I see how you're dressed. I don't know that you could afford to buy lunch, but you're bringing your boy here for a lesson. So it was very, very, what's the word I'm trying to say here? Like I never saw a future in it, right? I'm doing the lesson, spending the time with the people.
Sort of free-spirited-ish.
It's a couple of dollars for me and it's a chance for the kid to get to ride.
And maybe you're making a difference.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's, maybe it's just so I can afford diapers. So, Rob says to me one day after he'd been out here a couple of years, he wants to buy a fraternity horse. And I'm thinking, what am I going to buy this guy for $1,000 that I can make a fraternity horse out of? And in the, some small talk, I knew he wanted that he'd had some cutting horses and like that. So I had one that was out of a highbrow cat mare. I showed it to him. He said, I like that one. And she wasn't $1,000, but she wasn't expensive.
Right.
So he buys her. We kind of go through a few months of training, riding. We take her to the first horse show. She's terrible.
Oh, no.
The first horse show was a train wreck. And I said, Rob, I don't know, buddy. This is not a good first out. And he said, get rid of her. And I said, Well,
Okay.
I'm not to that point. So nope, it's not what I'm after. Seller. Okay. So, I'm the one that, all through school, I'm buying and selling out of the newspaper.
Mhm.
I didn't lose money.
Mhm.
I didn't always make much, but I never lost any.
Right.
And I don't do that well.
Mhm.
I don't lose well. And it's whether it's my money or I'm quicker to push mine
Mhm.
aside and lose a little of mine to get out of a trap than I am to let my customers lose on it. So I'm like, how am I going to get him out? I know what he's got in her, and it just worked out perfectly. There was a young lady that wanted a horse for the stock horse stuff,
Mhm.
and she was perfect for that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a great fit. Rob had a good experience. Well, that same year, that Wimpy's little chick foal hits the ground,
Mhm.
and I'm talking to Rob, and I said, I'm going to go look at this yellow filly. And he said, can I go with you? I said, "I'm sure." So we hop in my car because I didn't think his would make it. And we drive to Oswoods, and we're looking in the pasture, and she's stunning. I mean, she's so elegant, so pretty, lope, so pretty in the pasture. And Rob says, I want her. And I said, I want her too. And he said, no, I mean, like, I want to buy her. And I looked at him, I said, do you have some buddies that you can partner with to buy her? And he looked at me and said, I don't need any buddies to buy the horse. Buy the mare. And I'm still like, what's he talking about? Like, I don't think they're going to take food stamps in on this horse. This is not how this works. They're going to want actual dollars. So we bet her, he buys her. And I'm still like, even after it's done, I'm scratching my head
rob
going,
a bank?
did he actually just buy that mare? And so she gets her name because he's driving home from buying that mare, and a big sailboat passes him on the highway. And he's thinking to himself, I could have bought that boat for what I just paid for that horse. And on the back of the boat, it said, she's out of your league.
No way.
so
Oh my gosh.
that's how she gets that
Talk
name.
about a sign. Yeah.
And Rob is the smartest human being I know. Like, he is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was able to work remotely. And so he watched 75% of her training. I mean, I've never had a customer that involved.
Mm-hmm.
He was there watching every part of it. And like, he got as much out of the process of it as I did.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one time, this is a funny story I can tell on him now. And because everybody knows how great she is, it's no big deal. But this was early in her 3-year-old year. She was tied on the fence down here waiting for me. And I said, Rob, get on that mare and just walk her around, trot her around for me, and I'll get done with this one, and then I'll take her.
She's yours. Go
Yeah,
ride
just
her.
go enjoy her a little bit. And she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And he climbs on her right down here at the gate, and he doesn't walk 10 feet, and she stands straight up in the air.
Oh, no.
like the Lone Ranger, right? And Rob steps right off and says, nope.
I think I'll just watch from the sidelines.
And I'm sitting here watching. I said, you just got off. After she rears up and you get off. And so there was a few days of her thinking that was okay.
Oh, no.
We get all through it. But the whole process was a blast.
Oh my gosh.
And so to get to win the fraternity for Rob was, it was the pinnacle, right?
Yes.
So in my mind, he'd had the one filly that turned out to be a really nice mare, but not going to make a great show horse.
Right.
For our deal. And then he had her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then as I spend more time with him and we get closer and closer, I find out he'd had a handful of cutters that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You spent a lot of money and it just wasn't the right fit. Nothing ever happened. So for him to be able to come in and have her fire the way she did.
Yeah.
So, she ends up winning a ton, and then she is also the youngest $1 million dam in history.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob is never been in it for the money.
Right.
He's always been in it because he loves the horses and he wants to do something incredible.
Right.
And so he's like, wow, that actually worked out like we planned it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that mare just keeps
going,
proving herself over and over and over again. So hopefully we can get her to 2 million by the end of the year is what my goal is.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't looked in a while to see how close we are, but.
So did his son go go ahead with horses and do more?
His son still rides some.
Yeah.
He actually got one of what's the Mustangs that they swim across to the
Oh,
island?
Chincoteague ponies.
He got one of those as a project to play with, and he's going to Baylor University, and he's got that and another horse down there that he boards and he rides some. And so I'll see him a couple of times a year. When I go to Waco, he'll come over and hang out for a little bit. But he still wears the original Deary cap that I gave him
Oh my gosh.
13 or something like that. It's the nastiest looking thing. And Rob said he will not trade that cap. He wears it all the time. So
Well, he's got horses in his life, and that's really all that matters, right?
Yeah, and he's a great kid and probably as bright as his dad. So it'll be fun to see
where he goes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool.
But that's a special mare. And that mare won the Derby in 17. And that was my buddy Jordan Larson had a lot to do with that. I was struggling running and stopping, plenty of it there. I'd made such a mess of it, and I had Jordan helping me, and he said, I'd do this, and I worked on it and did that. And from the red bud, where I had made such a mess of it, like, I'm thinking this is not good.
Not good work.
I've gotten all the good I can get here. She's done with it. I'm struggling with it. I'm not going to put her through. She doesn't have anything to prove, right? And Jordan helped me with that. And from the red bud, she made such a change that she wins the Derby. And I remember Jordan showed Big Star, and he was right in front of me in the finals. And I'm telling you, had a smoking good run. And I went through those gates hoping to be second, because I thought there's no way I'm getting around Jordan. And then she ends up winning it there. So
did you remember much of that run?
Oh yeah. I mean, by that point, like I was, I do my very best to treat this like a job, right? I mean, I do my very best to treat it like, you're any other athlete. You're there to do a job. I don't do well with excuses of I didn't this or I didn't that or so-and-so was this, or I'm responsible for it. So I try real hard to not let my emotions get in the way of that at all. And I did find out early on that, when you're excessively nervous, you don't do the same it's not that anybody helped me figure this out, but I find that when I'm in a high pressure situation, I yawn a lot. And a couple of years ago, I was told that does help alleviate the stress. You got more oxygen, and apparently there's a big scientific reason behind it, but just happened to do it. But.
So then we move on to, let me think about this. Where does In Like Flynn come in on some of this?
So Flynn was the first horse that I bought for the Nyberger family. Todd and Lisa wanted to come ride with us. They were big in the AQHA deal. Their daughters showed in the all-around stuff. Wonderful, wonderful people. And so I had one that Todd called and asked me about, and I said, buddy, I don't think you want that one. And I think he was a little surprised at the fact that I told him,
no,
you don't want that one.
Right.
And so he said, well, what do I want? And so we talked. I said, I want that one. And he was too much at the time. And so a few months went by, and Nathan Piper had him and did a great job with him, but it seems like they broke gate or something around the end. And maybe Nathan, I can't remember if it was in the finals or in the go-round, whatever it was, it wasn't a great experience, and the owners decided to sell him.
Right.
So we were able to buy him. And Todd and Lisa, being from the all-around deal, they're used to horses being structured and this is how things work. And that's not necessarily the way my horses go.
No.
I mean, mine are pretty free and loose. And I remember getting that horse home, and Nathan rides with a lot of leg.
Right.
And some of the stuff was a little hard for me to make operate because I had to be really involved with it. Instead of getting to sit there and point and shoot, I had to make sure. So I told Todd and Lisa, I said, please don't come out for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I remember channeling my inner Bill Horn, and I took my feet off, and if I clucked or kissed and he didn't go, I'd spank him with the rein till he'd carry me, and that horse loped around like a llama for a couple of weeks.
Gosh.
And I'm like, oh, buddy.
You really didn't want them to see it.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, I hope I haven't made a mistake. He's a fantastic horse. I mean, I watched Nathan show him as a 3-year-old, bionic individual, beautiful to look at. I don't know if I can make it fit for Todd. That was the goal.
Right.
And he called and he said, we'd like to come watch. And I said, can I have another week? Okay. Next week, can I have another week? Okay. Well, then it clicked. Flynn said, got it. I can handle it. I called him. I said, come watch him. And it was a game changer. And after that, when that horse figured out I wasn't going to carry him up to that spot, he had to do it. It was game over. And that horse was fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
He just needed it needed a little time to make that adjustment. And that horse he was always good. Like in the pen, he was fantastic. I remember seems like maybe it was the second year that he won the world title. He won it 2 years in a row. And the first time through
2015 and 2016.
Okay.
You won the junior in 15 and the senior in 16.
What year did I have the runoff with Martin Muhlstetter?
Ooh.
Was that the second year? Okay. So he was not his best in the finals and tied to win it.
Oh, wow.
And Todd comes back there to me and he said, what do you think? And I said, well, all I can tell you is if we're going to win it, I'm going to have to stand on him. And I said, but if I stand on him, the wheels may fall off. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Todd said, go try it. And so I stood on him and that horse got better.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here thinking, well, you dummy, if you'd have done this the
done
first
that
time
sooner.
I don't know why I'm so stupid. I should have just trusted the horse was going to be there. And I stood on him and he hooked up and was outstanding in the runoff. So he was a blast to show. I think that was the one. Nicole, is that the one that I made you come lope around? I think that was him. He was such a beautiful mover that, my wife sits here in the office and clicks away all day long, and I get to do the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I knew she was having a bad day or it looked like it through the window and I was afraid to ask. But I remember riding up to my little drive-through window going, hey, come here for a minute. I said, you just got to lope a circle on this and feel it. Because he had the most amazing, like you could have drank a hot cup of coffee and
so
run
smooth.
fast and slow circles on that horse. Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
That is.
Today, you said you got to not. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You write this book.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just a really special individual.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So who was up next? Where did 1030 come in?
1030 was a Futurity champion in 21. So on the way home from the from the Derby in 2020, I don't even remember who I showed in. No, that's not right, is it? Yeah, 2020, the Derby. So that would have been Downright Amazing's 3-year-old year. Do you remember who I showed at the Derby in 2020? It's fine. So coming home from the Derby, Fred Tremblay said, I got a really special 2-year-old you need to look at. So I stop in there and look at him, and 1030 stopped as a 2-year-old in the summer like he did when he won the Futurity.
What?
I mean, Danny had done such a great job. That horse was so confident. He would just run down there and disappear. I had only seen him one other time. Brooke Wharton raised him.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I saw him was when they let him out of the stall to walk to the sale ring.
Oh, my God.
And I said, Brooke, why haven't I seen this one? Like, I had no idea you owned that horse. Why didn't you show me this horse? He's beautiful to look at. Conformationally, he's great. Like, you're really not going to change anything about him. And he's walking past me, walking away, going to the sale ring. And I said, Brooke, what are we doing? And she said, well, at the time, Danny's Little Step, I think's the mother's name, Danny Little Step, had produced a full brother that won a little bit with Ben Baldus and a couple of cow horses, but hadn't had really a big time reiner. Right. And I'm watching this colt go by and I'm thinking, that one should be coming to Weatherford. and Fred and Danny, and I think maybe Cooper was in on it, buy him at the sale and paid good money for him. I mean, obviously they were smarter than I was. And Danny gets him riding, so I stop in there and try him, and I loved him. Yeah. Like electric, tons of feel, beautiful to look at. And I'd bring him home. Jody Puno bought him for me. So Jody owned him until maybe March, I think, of his 3-year-old year. And then I got a phone call from a gentleman named Aldo Ramon. Okay. So he's talking to me. It's a guy from Mexico. And again, I'm not smart enough to ask questions. He says, I'd like to buy one of your good 3-year-olds. What do you have that you can sell? And so I had 1030 and a couple of other ones, and I sent him videos on them. And he said, I love that one. Okay, great. So I get a number. We do the deal, set up the vet check. I'm holding him there at the vet check. And the vet looks at me and says, what name do I put this under as the buyer? So I message him, hey, what name do I put on the pre-purchase? And he says, Rancho El Fortín. And I went,
oh, wait a minute.
I didn't know that's who I'm dealing with here. So I didn't realize who I was talking to on the phone.
Yeah, connecting all the dots.
Yeah, until he told me the ranch name. And El Fortín is huge. Got tons of history, great horses. And I'm thinking, man, this is a special horse, but that's a lot of pressure. I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill to live up to being good enough for that family.
Yes.
And so, on we go. And they ended up several of the brothers, there's 7 of them, siblings. A bunch of them came to watch the futurity and wins the futurity, and it was a blast. And so they actually, that giant buckle on the bar right there, they had made as a thank you gift down there, and it's a duplicate of the buckle he won, and it's giant, right? Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not supposed to be worn. You're
going to look like Dale Brisby if you do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I've been able to work for them now for 2020, 21, I guess, in the spring. So they've been great customers ever since and have a few horses with us. But that horse was so much fun. They use his stop and roll back right from the finals as the 1.5 on the judge's video.
Whoa.
He was just such a gifted animal and kind and I don't want to say timid, but sensitive enough almost to a fault. Like, you didn't have to tell him twice. He didn't want to get in trouble. Never wanted to get in trouble. In fact, I could tell you, until the last time I ever rode him on that track, I always keep my tractor parked in the corner down there on that track. And I was running him towards it's open, running him back towards the barn. And I knew he wasn't paying attention. I mean, that's kind of my job, is to make sure everything works even when you're not focused. Right. So I ask him to stop while he's not paying attention, and he misses me. And I get a hold of him and I kick him a little in the belly, and I'm thinking it's not a big deal. To the day I got off of him the last time, couldn't run stop him in that spot.
Really? He remembered it.
You could move it over 30 feet, no problem. Run the other way, no problem. In fact, Cinch did a photo shoot, and the photographer's laying on the ground, and literally at the end of the stop, his camera is at my stirrup.
Whoa.
And it's the coolest picture. But that horse had so much confidence to run down there and stop, as long as it wasn't in that spot in the arena. I could go anywhere else I wanted. What a fun animal. So that would have been 21. He made the finals at the NRBC and the Derby, and I can't remember all those years.
Yeah, 2020 was a bit of a blur, and anything right after that.
Yeah.
Um,
2020 was, I'm sorry, that wrecked the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
that year was, I learned a lot that year. I had that really great set of horses, and the Friday before the reining fraternity, we were supposed to leave on Tuesday.
Mhm.
The Friday before the reining fraternity, I had a horse get in a bad spot in the horse walker,
Oh, no.
and it had kicked through the panel.
Oh,
I now have a new pre-foot walker.
Mhm.
This was an older, less sturdy version.
Mhm.
This horse kicked through the panel and was sitting there like a mule with that panel in his, over his hock. He's sitting there. And so I call my help,
Mhm.
come, and I'm going to go hold the horse. We're going to take the panel down,
Mhm.
get it off of his leg, make sure the horse is okay. That was my plan.
Mhm.
I open the gate, I go in. Well, as I walk in, he stands up and the panel's obviously still attached. So he comes running at me.
Oh, no.
I jump over the inside because the outside has a big slope.
Mhm.
And while I'm in midair over the fence, the arm of the walker hits me in the head and head down like a yard dart into the ground.
Oh.
Stuck a bolt through my hat into my head. And I'm laying there, and I mean, obviously, I'm not sure what's going on, but all four legs, my arms and my legs seize up and pull up against my chest like this, and everything's shaking, and I have no idea what's going on, but I can't let
can't
go
move.
of them. I can't move,
Oh,
and I'm laying
gosh.
there on my back with knees are up, hands are up. And the first guy that gets to me is one of my ranch hand guys, and he's saying in Spanish, "That's a lot of blood. That's a
Oh.
lot of blood." And I'm going, "It's okay. Call Nicole."
Yeah.
And so she drives the car down, and I get up, and my arm's tingling. Everything is obviously not feeling great.
No.
And I have to crawl over the fence.
Ugh.
And I get to the house. I get in the shower, and I wash all the blood off. I got a little hole in my head. No big deal. That's not the first time. Get showered. I laid down, and my vet's here.
Mhm.
And I call him, and I said, "Hey, can you come x-ray my neck?" So he says, "I'll be right up." So he gets up there and he x-rays my neck, and he said, You're too thick here for my plate to see all of it. I can see 1 through 6 look okay.
Mhm.
But if your hand is numb, you probably need to go to the emergency room.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So we go in, they do all of the MRI, CAT
Mhm.
scans, all of the stuff they're supposed to do. The doctor comes back. Okay, you've broken C7.
Oh, no.
Your neck's broke, but it's in the right spot.
Mhm.
So if you sit still for 6 weeks, we think you'll be okay.
No.
We won't have to do surgery. We won't have to do any of that. And I said, "Okay, well, what's plan B?"
Yeah.
And he said, "There's no plan B." And I said,
But you don't
"Well,
understand.
next week, I really don't have time for this broken neck thing because next week I'm going to Oklahoma City for the reining fraternity." And he said, No, you won't be riding." And I said, "What'll happen if I do?" And he says, "The part that's broken is for stability.
Mhm.
So if you would imagine driving a car with 5 lug nuts on the wheel instead of 6. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, I'm from East Texas. I've
We've
done
done
a
that before.
lot of dumb stuff. That really doesn't, that's called saving money.
Yeah.
So I get home and I lay down. I'm pretty good Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
And Nicole and I are talking like, who the week before the reining fraternity
Mhm.
could you get to even catch ride those
Oh,
horses?
no. Yeah.
And she said, "Do you see yourself winning that event in a neck brace?" And I said, "I don't know, but I think I could get them shown and make the finals on them if I can even ride."
Mhm.
So Monday morning, they saddle down right amazing, bring him down, warm him up where he's not fresh. And I get on and I check all the parts.
Mhm.
And it is one of the most painful things I've ever done. But that
But you got
horse
it done.
helped me.
Mm-hmm.
He was good.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Nicole, I think I can do it. And my mother is bending her ear. Don't you let him do it. Don't you let him ride. You better not let him do it. And she said, Debbie, that is between him and God.
Yep.
I cannot tell him what to do.
No.
And I'm thinking in my mind, there's a couple of really special animals there with great customers that have invested a lot of money. And if it's even remotely possible,
You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. And
Mhm.
every one of them said, please don't do it.
Wow.
All those customers said, we don't care. We don't want you hurt. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she rented a recliner at the horse show, and we had all these ice packs. And I have a dear friend and nurse that works for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't drink, smoke, or chew,
Mm-hmm.
and heavy medications affect me mentally. So I wasn't going to take any of the, the hydrocodone or any of the strong stuff. So she made me a list of, okay, you can have Tylenol, Advil, aspirin, all the different over the counter stuff, and alternate so you're not overdosing on any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So she keeps me as comfortable as she can keep me over the counter. And I'm laying in this recliner with ice packed all over.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd get up, I'd work one for 10 minutes, and then I'd go get back on the ice. And I'm in there, I'm riding with the neck brace and all the traffic. And I'm saying to my friends, am I clear to roll back? Can I go the other way? I mean, I'm severely handicapped riding these things. And I did the absolute least amount of riding that I could possibly do and still feel remotely prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And those horses were fantastic. They felt more sound. They felt more happy. And I did the least amount of work. And I thought, all this time, I've been up all night, working my tail off. And by the end of it, they're grouchy and tired, and I'm grouchy and tired. And here I am completely helpless, and they're getting better. And so that's been my philosophy ever since then is I check it. If it's good, I leave it alone.
Yeah.
And it's helped me a ton from 2020 to date. There's been a lot of money from that point. But I can remember Amazing just showed up and was so good and so smooth. He ended up third at the fraternity.
Oh my gosh.
And then the Starfire mare was fifth. The other horse was 31st in the semifinals and almost fell down in one stop.
Oh no.
And I ran down and said, whoa, and he hit and tripped, and the whole crowd went, oh, and it hurt a whole bunch. And I finished it up and got done, and he ended up 31st.
Oh my gosh.
And so finals day, I'm getting two ready for the finals at the same time. And it was not a fun experience.
No.
And I get home and I sit still, and I think it was maybe another 2 weeks or so before my next follow-up appointment. And I go back in and I meet with an actual surgeon this time that looks at it, and he looks at the current MRI stuff, and he said, you've not done what we told you to do. And I said, well, technically I was seated. And my wife says, no, he competed. And this little Asian doctor said, you did what? And so Nicole pulls the video up like it's bad enough already.
Tattletelling.
This guy's irate.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting in a chair with my neck brace on, like the Chris Farley look here in my neck brace. And he puts a hand on either knee and gets in my face and said, do you understand? You have a broken spine. And I said, well, yeah, but it's,
oh my God.
I said, it's like driving a car with 5 lug nuts instead of 6. And he said, no, you play Russian roulette, but instead of 1 bullet, you have 3. And I said, I'm really glad I met your buddy first.
Exactly.
I won a lot of money last week.
I like the lug nut better.
Yeah. I was thinking, man, if I'd have heard the roulette deal, I might not have done that.
Oh my gosh. So you ended up having surgery?
No, I didn't have to.
No, really?
Thank God it hadn't moved. But I was really good about the brace, and I did the least amount I could do. So I came home and I sat. for 6 weeks like they told me to, and went back and it calcified. Everything was good. I go back, they released me, and I said, okay, it's all healed. Thank you. Great. I can't look to the right at all. I had full range of motion this way, none to the right, none,
Whoa.
0. I said, what are we going to do about that? And they said, well, there's really nothing you can do.
You just have to live with
And then Nicole volunteers me for physical therapy. I'm like, I should have left her in the car.
Bless her heart.
I said, well, what about chiropractic?
Mhm.
And he says, absolutely not.
Oh.
No chiropractor, no massage, nothing.
Oh.
And I'm thinking,
Yeah, but it worked on that horse.
well, that's what I'm sitting here going. I've been to a chiropractor my whole life.
Yeah.
So I have a really good chiropractor named Brent Proctor
Mhm.
that comes every Thursday afternoon. He'll work on horses here, and then he works on me in the office. And he's going, I can help that. And I'm thinking, I'll bet you can, you big, strong gorilla of a man. And it took a while. I mean, it probably took, I don't know, a year before I'd let him touch my head, but it hurt. The part that broke didn't hurt.
Right.
It was everything above it that was compressed is what hurt so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally let him start messing with it, and he just a little tiny bit every week. And it took probably a year before it finally all released. And now I'm almost the same left and right as, almost the same as it was before.
Yeah.
So as long as I maintain it, and I have a great acupuncture lady that works on me. And
now you had a bad wreck when you were a teenager.
Yeah.
And 8 surgeries on your face?
Mm-hmm. I was really handsome before. Well, not to brag, but like Brad Pitt kind of handsome.
Well, I can't tell. So.
Thanks a lot.
No, I mean, I can't tell you
sure,
had a
yeah.
bunch
Let's
of surgery.
backpedal now.
Let's backpedal. But how did that affect your relationship with horses? And I mean, you were young, so
yeah. So I told you earlier I don't lose well.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I hate to lose $1.
Mhm.
I'm the kind of guy that I don't like to backtrack. Like I think about what I got to go do, and I'll make a plan. I don't care if it's walking from the living room to my chair to get a coffee. I don't like going out of my way or detouring.
So an injury is a detour.
Right.
Yeah.
And my parents were smart enough growing up to make me invest my dollars. So the horses I paid for, the trailers I paid for. They gave me a saddle for Christmas one year from the feed store. But it was my dollars tied up in everything. And the horse that I had the accident on was a sweet colt. I bought him as a weanling. He was like a puppy dog. I taught him tricks. He'd lay down, give you hugs. I used him in all of my school projects. I mean, he was really a neat horse.
That's awesome.
And it was just a freak accident. I had 10 rides on him or so, and I rode him to the arena. I opened the gate. I rode through the gate. I closed the gate, and I'm leaned over to close the chain on the gate, and something spooked him, and he jumped out from underneath me while I'm hanging off the side.
Wow.
So my foot hangs in the stirrup. I hit my head on the gate, and he drags me, and I bite a pipe fence, and hard enough to jerk my foot out of the stirrup.
Wow.
But fortunately, I'm at a buddy of mine's house, Alan Chappell, and he nearly gets bucked off trying to get off his horse to come help me. He gets me loaded in his truck. My parents were in Florida at spring training for the Rangers, right? Fortunately, my mother's a school teacher. She had all the paperwork done. Everything's in order. George Chappell's in charge. This was at George's place. Alan, Dad, Casey's dying. I'm going to the hospital. Jumps in, drives me to the hospital in Terrell, Texas, which is maybe not the best place to go.
Not the first choice, no.
And I don't have any memory of any of this. Like apparently I walked to his truck. He said that on the way there, he had a little single cab pickup and all these dirty clothes that he'd stuffed behind the seat. And he's putting those dirty clothes in my face to try to keep from getting blood everywhere. He drives to the hospital. He said I got out of the truck Said I walked in. He said I came back to the truck to get my hat. Back into the hospital. Now, mind you, these teeth are gone.
Mhm.
These teeth are sticking out the side, and I'm covered in blood.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I felt like I needed to have my hat at the hospital.
It's a cowboy thing.
I don't know. I don't remember any of it. So my first memory is I'm laying down in this bed. I'm a 15-year-old boy. Alan's 16.
Mhm.
The doctors gave him the straw, the suction straw like they use it.
Yes.
And they said, don't let him drown.
Oh my Lord.
I'm bleeding that much. And they
Yes.
give a 16-year-old boy this straw to keep. So my first memory that I have is I come to and Alan is sobbing over the top of me.
Oh
That's
my
the very
gosh.
first memory that I have. And then when I tell this story after, he says, I was crying because they told me you were going to make it.
Of course, that's what he said.
So anyway, by God's grace, the head plastic surgeon from Dallas Medical
Happened to be there?
is there
No.
in surgery.
Oh my gosh.
He gets his patient taken care of, comes over, puts me back together, wires, screws, all of this stuff that's still in there. And that begins the process of bone grafting and all of the other fun stuff that went with it. So,
Wow.
you know, at that point, it was a pretty nasty deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that if I hadn't had all of my money invested in it,
Mm-hmm.
if I'd have got back on.
Right.
I was always a fat kid. I weighed 200 pounds when I was 15 years old, and wrecking my face, they put 200 stitches inside my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
And I could have water, Jello, and applesauce for
Good.
2 weeks while those
Good.
stitches were there. No dairy because it sticks to the
Mhm.
stitches. So I dropped 60 pounds in 2 weeks.
No way.
Like I was
Wow.
skin and bones. It was an ugly deal. And of course, everybody from the church is bringing ice cream.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, I can't have that.
So Dad's got this standing freezer in there, you know, stacked full of Bluebell. And when the colt's dragging me, he steps on my tailbone.
Oh no.
And so I'm laid in the recliner with pillows propping me up sideways and my head in this foam box. And Dad's sitting next to me on the recliner with a gallon of ice cream.
Eating
Like,
it.
I wish you could have some of this, buddy. That's good parenting.
Rude.
Toughen me up. So that was through school. That was my life, was every 6 months they'd do a surgery. So I went would be my junior, senior year, and my first year of college with no teeth.
Oh my gosh.
And of course you get every comment,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you either sink into the corner and
Mhm.
hide, or you embrace
Own
it
it.
and you go with it and you have fun with it. And that's what I did.
Yep.
I made the jokes with them, and my mom didn't want me to take my senior pictures without anything. So she had the dentist make a retainer with teeth on the bottom. And I remember doing, in Spanish class, a commercial in Spanish for denture glue.
Of course
And
you
I
did.
took my pocket knife and I cut a little chunk out and I did it, and I left the retainer in there. So I just had a good time with it, and I was able to talk my way out of a lot of homework and
Mhm.
tests and
Mhm.
the big paper that everybody dreads as a senior. I didn't have to do.
Uh-huh.
Talk my way
'Cause
out
you
of
had
that.
surgery.
I talked my way into being able to eat candy in the class all day long because I needed to exercise my jaw. I mean, I did okay with it.
And you still have fun with the teeth.
Oh yeah, because now this is the original set
Uh-huh.
that was supposed to last 10 years, which would have been, I think I'm going on 25 or 27 years
Oh
with
my
them now.
gosh.
I spit them out all the time. And it's so often now that I actually will catch them most of the time, either in my hand or in my mouth, right? And so I know when I'm at the Run for the Million and they're filming the show, most days I was good about putting a little bit of glue in there and then we're good. It stays in there. When we're there at South Point, we'd gone to dinner, customers, big group of us,
Mhm.
and I'm walking back in and my buddy Jimmy McDavid says something incredibly funny. I don't even remember what it was. And I laughed and I launched him. Now we're walking in the front where all the cars are,
Mhm.
under the cover, so you
Mhm.
can't, the sun's not killing off any of the germs.
Right.
I launch them. I try to catch them. They bounce off my hand. They hit him in the stomach, and they roll across the ground 30 feet up there. I'm like, oh boy. And there's cameras everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? I mean, the Last Cowboy guys are filming nonstop. So I go over and I pick them up and I give them a little of that and I pop them back in my mouth and away we go. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to figure out what to do. These aren't going to last me the rest of my life.
They're not.
So it happens. I'll drop them in the arena or whatever.
Oh, my
But
goodness. Oh, well.
I always tell Nicole, I've said it to a few times, like, if I'm showing and you see me pointing,
Those are my teeth.
don't watch the horse, watch that spot, because my teeth are in the dirt there. When I get done, I got to go pick them up. I'm certain that is going to happen at some point. So
Definitely.
we got something to look forward to.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so based on my notes, I think really the horse that we haven't talked about that much is amazing, downright amazing.
Yeah.
He hit $1 million in earnings this year. Tell me how he came into your hands.
Well, you have to hear all of those other stories about She's Out of Your League and Rob Curtis and all of that stuff to really appreciate how long Downright Amazing's been part of the family.
Yes.
That's the first horse that mare had.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob and I talk about everything. And like I said, he's the most intelligent human that I know. And he studies it. He knows all of it. He's incredibly bright. So we agreed that Gunner would be the perfect cross on that mare.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the very first one we did.
Mm-hmm.
And when he hit the ground, he was, similar to his mother. I absolutely loved everything about him from day one. And so Debbie Good was here riding, taking lessons, and she had expressed some interest in having a really good one for me to show. And I said, Debbie, we need to go look at this one.
Mm-hmm.
So at 3 days old, she buys him.
Wow.
And we did the deal right here at this table with Rob in here, and bill of sale and breeding plans and everything from 3 days old.
My gosh.
Debbie is the kind of person you want on your team.
Mm-hmm.
She is fantastic. Again, another one of those people that it's not about the money. She loves the journey. She's turned down countless opportunities to sell that horse. Early on, a few opportunities with me saying, hey, that's an unrealistic number. You should take that.
Mm-hmm.
That happened many times.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, another one of my wife being smarter than me, after multiple times of her turning down the money, she said, Casey, she doesn't want the money.
Yeah.
She wants the relationship. She wants the experience. She wants the horse.
Yes.
There's zero pressure on you.
Yep.
Zero. You have given her an opportunity to make it a profitable deal if she wants it.
Yeah.
Just go show him and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great horse. You get along great with him.
You get along great with his owner.
It's
all good.
I mean, it's literally the perfect situation. Why do you want to take a profit and be out of it?
Mm-hmm.
So again, she's talking sense into me, but I'm just wired in the way that I know if I make a profit for you, I can do it again.
Yes.
So on we go. Third at the reining futurity. The horse never missed the finals. I actually think the lowest he ever placed in a finals was third.
Wow.
Was at the reining futurity.
That's amazing.
And then he was second as at the Derby and then RBC, and then wins those events and wins them multiple times, and then goes to the American and wins that all 3 years. Wins the shootout in Vegas. And I mean, it's the story of a horse that never happens.
Yeah.
And there will be a horse that passes him dollar-wise,
Mm-hmm.
but there may never, ever be another one that does it the way he did it.
Yeah.
That horse won $1,050,000, and his biggest paycheck was $100,000.
Oh, my God.
So he just kept showing up over and over and over. And he still to this day has never had a front shoe. He's completely sound. In fact, just last night, Debbie was gracious enough to donate a riding lesson with me to Brandon Brandt's fundraiser
Mhm.
when Brandon's barn burned down.
Mhm.
So, well, that's over a year ago.
Yeah.
And the people agreed to wait till I was done showing him to come do it. So last night,
They got to do it.
they got to do it.
Oh,
And
neat.
he is still as sound and happy. I was a little jealous because Veronica took a stop picture with that young lady on him. It was possibly the best stop picture the horse ever had. And I looked at Veronica and I said, "You think you could Photoshop her out and put me on that one? Like I'd like to use that." But the horse was fantastic. Never ridden him. She went fast and slow, turned him around, ran, stopped him. I mean, it's like
Dream.
the horse is an absolute soldier. Loves his job. Always the same. I've never ever had that horse come out and be grouchy or have a bad day. It is the same individual every time.
Wow. Quirks?
None.
None. Wow.
I mean, literally, he is not a machine in the fact that
And not
he's
a workaholic,
broke.
but he
Like,
loves what he does.
He loves what he does. It's not like I have to talk him into it.
Mhm.
Not that I don't have to teach him some stuff, and I have to encourage him to turn a little bit harder.
Mhm.
I got to encourage him to run a little bit harder. But I never have to really work at it.
Right.
So he is as much like a machine as you could have. He's the same in the stall. He's good in the stall. He's good in the trailer. He's good for the farrier. I mean, there's really not a negative thing about the horse.
Wow.
No fancy special shoes.
Mhm.
I mean, he wore a 3/4 inch shoe for most of his career. It wasn't until later on when he got a little bigger, we put a 1-inch slider on him and it's just literally nailed on there straight. There's no tricks to it.
That's
Never,
amazing.
ever had any sort of medication to go show. He's just an absolute machine.
Wow.
Completely sound. The one injury, the one time as a 4-year-old after the reining futurity, I'm hurt. I'm
Mhm.
laid up.
Mhm.
I'm going to rest him. So I'm not riding him.
Right.
And he's playing in the stall and he gets up over the top of the stall fresh
Yeah.
and he breaks his splint bone
Oh, no.
and has several pieces of his splint bone.
Mhm.
So we have to take him over to the clinic and they take the splint bone
Out.
pieces out.
Mhm.
That's the only day he missed a work for being uncomfortable was whacking his splint.
Good.
And it was because I was resting him. Like
Yes.
he wanted to go to work. He wanted to be out. And, they get on the walker and
Yeah.
we're able to turn them out some too.
Mhm.
And just wasn't enough. So
Wow. That's
pretty amazing animal.
pretty cool.
I mean, like literally lived up to his name. So I'm, who knows what he's going to sire like.
yes.
But when you look at the paperwork behind him,
Mhm.
obviously Gunner doesn't need any.
Any defense?
Right. She's out of your league,
Mhm.
won 2 major events.
Mhm.
And to my knowledge, the only other mare to have won 2 major events is her mother.
Mhm.
She won 3. So when you look back, there's just not a spot where it's not
Totally
the
stacked.
top 0.01%.
Mhm.
So if he doesn't sire, it would shock me.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how it doesn't work.
How old is he now?
He's 8 now.
8. Okay. So
And we still have not said he's retired
right.
because that horse loves it.
Yeah.
So why
retire him?
and to be real honest, we basically didn't retire him, but we quit using him after the 7-year-old stuff. And he went and lived at Oswoods and
Mhm.
the first couple of years, the first 2 years it was frozen only.
Mhm.
Last year he had cooled semen and frozen if needed.
Mhm.
The numbers there are staggering in the breeding barn. Jeff told me best frozen semen he's ever seen. You could breed 500 mares a year. Like,
He's the perfect horse.
I don't know how you keep getting better, but he kept getting better. Well, then we bring him back out for the American.
Mhm.
And I thought this last year, I thought he showed better than he's shown since he was 4.
Wow.
So who knows if I give him a whole year of rest and
Yeah.
I get him out for the American next year. I mean,
That-
he might be like he's never been in there before.
Exactly.
So
And bring home another title.
and I said this on the Tom show, but I almost felt greedy. I took him to the million with me.
Mhm.
He made it was just a joyride for him. But Debbie said, if you think you might need him, take him. If you don't use him, you don't use him.
Mhm.
Take him. So I took him with me out there and I prepared him like I might need you.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't get right. I mean, the horse doesn't owe me
He doesn't know you
anything.
anything. That's right.
And it wouldn't make any difference if he won the whole thing and he's at 1.5 versus $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't make one bit of difference. And there's part of me going, it's just not fair to ask him for more. Because I don't think he'd say no.
No, he wouldn't.
He never won that event, but I think he was third both years that he went.
Mm-hmm.
So he's certainly not going to tell me no, but at some point you kind of got to go, geez, you're being greedy. He doesn't deserve that.
Who named him?
Actually, Rob named him.
Yeah.
Debbie and I and Nicole and Rob, we were all sitting at this table hashing out the details, and Debbie graciously gave Rob and me both a lifetime breeding to him at 3 days old. I mean, this was the plan all the way through, and we get it all done, and everybody stands up, and Debbie comes over and hugs Rob, and Rob said, "This is going to be downright amazing." And Debbie said, "You
That's
just
the
named
name."
him." And we're like, well, I guess we don't have to put any thought into it. And it really is
cool.
It's
perfect descriptor.
It really, I mean, I don't know what else you'd have named him.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
So cool. So have I left any horses out that have made
I'm
a
sure.
big difference? I mean, you've had a lot.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's been, Nicole, I had This Chick's Done Dreaming was one of the first mares to go over 100,000.
Yep.
She was a great Magnum mare that George Lawrence and I would show together in the Open and the non-pro. I'd make the Open finals. He'd make the non-pro finals. We talked about Starlight Sugar Whiz a little.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's still going. That's a great horse. That horse, I was told by some AQHA all-around people, I won't name any names, but after that horse was second at the reining fraternity, apparently his run was sent to other AQHA judges in other events and told, this is what we want our quarter horse to look like and travel like.
No kidding.
And I thought, man, how cool is that to have an animal that, you saw that back in the day, right? When you showed every event, but now it's so specialized.
Yeah.
So to have another multiple disciplines go, that's what it's supposed to lope like. And that horse he's a great loper and fantastic minded and a lot of fun to turn and stop. It's that whole family. I mean, I've had Customize My Dream, Custom Dreams. Do You Have the Dream is a mare that I've made the finals on last year, and then Andrea just marked a 28 on her at the 4-year-old deal.
Gosh.
It's that whole family is
another good line.
Star after star after star. I mean, I think you're going to see that mare be up there with Wimpy's Little Chick and the Gun Model, and she's out of your league. She's in that caliber the way she's producing. So that's certainly a special horse.
Okay, let me ask you this. If there was a horse, living or dead, that you could go back and ride again one more time, who would it be?
I would have to tell you that there really was not a day that I didn't enjoy riding Maverick.
Yeah.
I think that I have learned stuff in the last handful of years that would benefit him. We've learned stuff as far as managing those horses. That Maverick is, and maybe I should say, the most athletic individual I've ever shown or ridden. I can tell you that when we started collecting him every other day, it took a toll on him physically. Mentally, it didn't bother him at all.
Right.
But physically, I'm riding him. My dad's hauling him back and forth to the breeding farm. And physically, it took a toll. And I don't think he ever rode and showed
as well
as he did before, which is why with Customize My Dream and Downright Amazing, they were only frozen while we were showing.
Right.
And I feel like if I had done the same for Maverick, I think it would have been a different story. So I don't know. I mean, to go back and have that horse again, in my opinion, superb conformation, exceptional ability, brain like you want, and a ton of look. I think it would be fun to just see if the stuff I've learned would
benefit him.
I mean, I don't know what else the guy's got to do. He won 400-something thousand and won the NRBC, and
Right.
Again, it's going to depend on what he produces like, but I absolutely enjoyed riding that horse, and I would come home and I'd say, you wouldn't believe what that horse did today. You should have seen him do this. And would you say him, or do you think there's another one?
Yeah, I agree. No one here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be between him and Romeo.
Yeah.
Starlight Sugar was my
Yep.
very first one, because that horse was great in his own way despite me. I mean, with me being, I mean, if I could go back and see even what was in my tack room,
Mm-hmm.
like what I did to those things and what the equipment that I was using, I mean, I'd just scratch my head going, how in the world did anything come out of here productive? So it'd be one of those two horses.
Which horse taught you the most?
Definitely the gun model.
Yeah.
Definitely the gun model. That mare taught me that it doesn't really matter what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what it looks like. And that there are, I say this in a lot of my training deals or clinics, my training program is not a one-way highway. It's not a one-lane road.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 4, 5, 6-lane highway. And if you're more comfortable traveling in the right lane, I'm okay with it. If you like the left lane, fine. If you want to be in the middle, I'm good with that too. As long as we get to the destination,
I will get out of your way.
I don't care if you're doing the speed limit, if you're 5 under or 5 over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not going to go 30 miles over the speed limit, and we're not going to do 5 miles an hour. So we got to stay on the highway, and we got to stay. So that mare taught me to give those horses a big variance to operate the way they need to operate to be the most comfortable and the most efficient.
Yep. That's cool. Michelle, do you have anything to add?
Only our good horses question.
Definition of?
Mhm.
What's your definition of horsepower?
Oh, sorry, of a good horse.
Oh, sorry, of a good horse. There's
We have
two
a couple
questions.
of questions.
We have a
floating
tough,
around.
yeah. So,
Okay.
definition of a good horse.
Oh, on the spot, I would have to say that my definition of a good horse is a horse that enjoys his job and wants to go compete with you,
Mm-hmm.
that wants to work with you.
Mm-hmm. Downright amazing.
I mean, he's the perfect example.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking time for us.
Sure.
And unless you have any other questions,
don't. That was
is there anything you want to add? Any horses you want to talk about?
Nicole?
Nicole? I think she's good. We ran a camera out of a battery. I mean, All right.
This goes better when she's not in here.
I don't know.
'Cause then-
I thought it went pretty
Because then
well.
she asked how it goes. Oh, it's great. We talked about this. We talked about that. Okay, good. And she's actually in here and can call me out on stuff.
But wouldn't join the conversation.
Yeah, she's too shy to come do it.
She has all the good ideas, though. Oh, I think everybody knows it's a partnership.
There's no doubt.
It is not just Casey.
I tell people all the time when we talk about our relationship, if it wasn't for her, I'd be living in a van down by the river. I mean, I would be Chris Farley in the flesh there, right? She is absolutely the dreamer of the deal and pushes me harder than I ever wanted to get pushed.
Mhm.
But it's for whatever reason,
It's a good partnership.
it works well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking
Absolutely.
time for us.
Thank you guys for
We
coming.
appreciate you.
Thank you
been
so
great.
much.
Thanks for listening to Good Horses, Stories of the American Quarter Horse. Because behind every great rider, breeder, or trainer, there's always a good horse. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a story.